What's up, guys? These are my quick picks for UFC 310. This card is going to be a fucking banger. There's so many fun matchups on this card. Got to be weary of the main event for Alexander Pantoja versus Kai Asakura just because, like, fucking why is UFC setting this guy up with his first fight in the UFC? A title shot against Alexander Pantoja is pretty crazy to me, but, like, it makes me think that like UFC knows something, knows that he can beat Pantoja. Otherwise, why would they set this fight up? And the short notice, Rachmanov versus Ian Gary is a bit. Let's see how that one goes. I'll get into it later. And this is Nate the Train on the main card pay-per-view. Fuck yes. Anyway, let's get into the quick picks. Yes. And starting off the card, we have Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Lucas Bursky. Uh, Nzechukwu is coming off a win over Chris Barnett. This fight is actually short notice because Berzersky was supposed to fight Taliesin Texera from the Contender Series. Kennedy Nzechukwu is 13-5. Lucas Bursky is 9-5. Yeah, Bursky has been fighting mostly big boys in the UFC. Now he's fighting more a guy his size. Kennedy is a very tall fighter, but like it's going to be his second fight at heavyweight. He does possess power, very strong, and like good submissions as well. Lucas Berzersky is like very fast, but like he can't seem to get like it going in the UFC. He did beat Walter Walker. That was a close fight, but I don't know what the fuck Walter was doing in that fight. I'm gonna be going with Kennedy to get this one done. Probably like second round knockout. Bursky doesn't have like the greatest chin and like he eats like a lot of shots. And Yeah, I don't like this. Like, I would not bet on this because I think like Kennedy's like a pretty big favorite. But I wouldn't touch it. Doesn't have the greatest chin either. We didn't really get to see much what he looks like at heavyweight because he kind of dominated that fight against Chris Barnett. Yeah. Now Clay Guida versus Chase Hooper. Clay Guida's just there to have a good time at this point, like so. I'm gonna be going with Chase Hooper on this one to get it done. Like he did decimate Slava Claus. Slava Claus is not a grappler. Like if it kept standing, who knows? He did drop Slava. That was pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, Clay Guida, he had a close fight against Joaquin Silva, which was like pretty interesting to see. He who like hurt Armin Sarukian, but yeah, it's going far back a bit. Clay Guida, like I think he's probably gonna get submitted in this one, but like I'll be happy seeing Clay Guida win. And if he doesn't, maybe the like Clay Guida versus Tony Ferguson, like last fight or something. But yeah, I'm gonna go in with the younger fighter in Chase Hooper. He's improved a lot coming up to lightweight. It's more the weight for him as he's like gotten older. Yeah, great grappler, good submissions. Yeah, Clay Guida's got a lot of submissions, but like he's going to be slower in the grappling in this fight. So I'm going to be going with Chase Hooper probably to win this one by first or second round submission. Not like weird decision, like is what I was thinking, but no. Also, it's a rematch. They did have a grappling match, and Chase Hooper submitted Clay Guida, and like Clay Guida showed up in like a singlet. Yeah. Now, Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin. I don't really rate Michael Chiesa's last win over Tony Ferguson, who's like done in the UFC. He submitted Tony Ferguson in the first round, but prior to that was coming off a 3-fight losing streak. Max Griffin just beat Jeremiah Wells, who is a very tricky opponent, good wrestling and good power, and yeah, he was able to hang in there through that fight. It was a very close fight, I might add. But yes, he has a decent stand-up and like good get-up game from getting taken down. I think that Michael Chiesa is definitely like the better grappler. He can kind of hang in the striking, but I think Max Griffin's is a lot better. I think I'm gonna do like a low confidence pick on Michael Chiesa, but like this fight is like very 50-50 and I wouldn't touch it. I just think like Chiesa's beaten the better level of competition and did lose to Sean Brady, but he was hanging in there and I think he had the third round on Sean Brady. But anyway, that's going back a little bit. But grapple heavy, like either wins by submission or a decision in this fight, but super low confidence, Michael Chiesa. Now Cody Durden versus Joshua Van, and oh fuck, man. I hate when these kind of fights happen because I like both these guys a lot. Like I like Cody Durden's like dogness, like he's I don't know if that's a word, but I just like the way he fights. Like he's really good, Cody Durden. He just like he gets himself like kind of caught, when he's doing well. When he starts to push the pace a little bit more is when his opponents kind of find him. Joshua Van, like, he gives up the first round usually in like most of his fights, but then he puts it on later. He kind of like collects all the data and then he like beats the shit out of his opponents. Well, like beats the shit out of like kind of like Piotr Yan sort of like, and he has crisp striking, good body shots. I'm wondering how this fight's gonna go. Like Cody Durden, he is 10 years older, but like he's still looking pretty good. I know he did just finish Matt Schnell, which it's not like too good of a win at this point. I gotta roll with Joshua Van, but I'm happy either guy winning this fight, to be honest. But Joshua Van, I still see a future with him. I know he did get knocked out by Charles Johnson, but he was probably winning the fight prior, and yeah, he just got clipped really good with an uppercut. Yeah, would have put away anyone. But yeah, Durden's probably still, I'd say, less durable than Joshua Van. But yeah, we'll see. Speed, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a lot of fun. I see the fight kind of going with like a competitive first round, and then kind of Joshua Van takes over in the second and third is what I see happening. But if like Durden is a fucking dog and like it's always entertaining to watch him fight. We'll see what happens. He seems very motivated going into this match. They've been talking trash on Twitter. Um, yeah, so I wouldn't bet on it. Again, I'm happy either guy winning. I like both these guys. I think I picked Durden most of his fights. And Joshua Van, I picked most of his fights except I picked Zolgas to beat him. That's it. Now, Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. I already gave a prediction for this because this fight's been rebooked. It was for UFC 309. And it does make me kind of want to change my pick from Eric Anders to Chris Weidman because, like, if it was an illness, then like I want to go with like Weidman because like it's kind of short notice to be getting back from like an illness, like train and then do the fight again. I don't even know what the fuck it was, but like it does like kind of deter me from like picking Eric Anders. It's maybe Chris Weidman's pissed too. Like he wanted to fight at MSG, like his home crowd. Now he's got to fight in Vegas, but yeah. Oh, I picked Eric. Oh, fuck, man. I picked Eric Anders for 309. I'm gonna be Eric Anders is the pick, but I'm like even less confident than UFC 309. I don't know if it's just like he wants to get this fight back. We'll see how it goes. Just I think I'm going to go with Eric Anders' athleticism. Chris Weidman seems to be slowing down. His fight against Bruno Silva, he did look pretty good, but Bruno Silva is like, he's pretty fucking shit after like what happened with Alex Pereira. After that fight, he hasn't looked the same, except he did knock out Brad Tavares. But yeah, Eric Anders. Sloppy split decision, something like that. He did get dropped by Jamie Pickett, Eric Anders, but now we got Randy Brown versus Brian Battle. Brian Battle is like one of the better Ultimate Fighter winners. He is 11-2 to Randy Brown's 19-5. Randy Brown's like shaping up to be like quite a big underdog on this one, but like keep in mind this is like a big step up for Battle, but I do like how he's been looking. He's like change from being mostly like wrestling based and whatnot, like submission, jujitsu, to like he has like hands now. Brian Battle is looking like great in the stand up lately. And Randy Brown has like also very good striking, and he's like very tall and long for this division. He's 6'3", 170 pounds with a 78-inch reach, but Brian Battle does have a 77-inch reach and 6'1". Like he's not like short or short reach or anything. I'm gonna be going with like the slight lean on Brian Battle to get this one done by. I'm gonna go with round two TKO or submission inside the distance. Yeah. Now y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but this is fucking biased. I am a big Aljamain Sterling fanboy. I know, shocker. I don't think there's many of them, but I'm gonna be going with Aljamain Sterling on this one. I don't like at all how Mosvar like has looked in any of his fights. I've never been like too impressed. His fight against like Arnold Allen, like I honestly think, well, no, I think he won that fight, but like it was like super close and like I don't know. He's not dangerous at all. He doesn't have like much power, whatnot. Like he's just fine, like winning by decision every time. And Diego Lopez, like that was his toughest fight. He does have a win over Diego Lopez. That looks fucking good in hindsight. But that was on short notice. And like, what would he have done on a full camp, Diego Lopez? He probably would have beat Mosvar Evloev. I'm gonna be going with Aljamain Sterling, but don't fucking listen to me because like this is biased, but I do see like the path to victory for Aljamain Sterling. He's gonna fucking the I think the wrestling's better on Sterling. I think he's gonna handle him with the wrestling and like I'm gonna be going with Aljamain to win this one by decision. Backpacks around, maybe loses one round, and yeah, he's like kind of slept on his striking too, Aljamain, like the Funk Master. Like he's got good kicks, like he can hang in the stand up. It's not as bad as like some people say. Yeah, he's got better stand up than Mozvar Evloev, I think, as well. I have like this weird image in my head of like the fight's over and Aljamain thinks he got robbed. I don't know why, but I'm still going with Aljamain. And Aljamain, please like make Funk Harbor come to Canada so I can get a bottle of it, or more specifically Quebec. I'd love a bottle of that shit. Yeah, have a glass of it on Christmas or like New Year would be cool. I'm a huge fan, and I think he's one of like the best bantamweights to ever do it. But now it's featherweight this class. Okay, Themba Garimbo versus Vincente Luque. Vincente Luque is 22-10, and Themba Garimbo is 14-4. Themba is coming off a 4-fight win streak. Last fight being to Nico Price, and like start from the bottom because like his first fight in the UFC was a short notice bout against AJ Fletcher, and he was like sleeping on a couch or something in the gym prior to that. And he has not looked like that at all. Like his next fight, Takashi Sato, you could see he drops Takashi Sato and looks really good in that fight. Just his gas tank is off. That's one thing I noticed. He fights Pete Rodriguez, knocks him the fuck out in the first round, 30 seconds, showed he has power, even though Pete Rodriguez is not like the best opponent. And then he fights Ramiz Brahima, and absolutely it was a dominant decision. And it seemed like his gas tank was getting even better. He pushed the pace. It was a pretty boring fight, but it was good. He won in that matchup. And then he fought Nico Price, and it seems the gas tank is perfect now. He out wrestled and he dominated that fight. I wasn't even worried like in that fight. I picked him pretty. I think I've picked Temba in every single one of his fights, even against AJ Fletcher. But yeah, so he beat Nico Price, which is a very good win. Like I know Nico Price is not as good as he used to be, but still nice. The gas tank is very good. The wrestling is on point. He's still got power in the hands, but he's kind of playing it safe, which I think he should be doing against Vincente Luque, because Vincente Luque is a very dangerous guy, but ever since he fought Geoff Neal, it doesn't seem the same. Like, he had a close fight against Rafael dos Anjos. He did win that fight. And then he got knocked out by Joaquin Buckley in kind of a weird finish. It seemed like he kind of gave up, but I don't think so. Fucking like he's still a dog, Vincente. I do think he's slowed down quite a bit, and Themba is only speeding up with his gas tank. I think Themba is maybe gonna knock out Vincente Luque, but I will lean more to the decision. I think he's gonna outwork him in this bout. But yes, I do see that this is a really big step up for Themba, his biggest step up, and it's gonna be his biggest win to date. I'm a fan of Themba, and I'm going with him to win on this one. I'm like okay level confidence, probably throw a bet. Now, Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes, and I'm wondering, would these odds look the same if Dominic Reyes didn't knock out Dustin Jacoby? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Anthony Smith might have even been the favorite in that case. But yeah, like, I'm going to be like slight leaning Dominic Reyes. There's no fucking bet, no fucking way. The odds are ridiculous for this fight, in my opinion. I think it should be a little bit closer than it is. Like, Anthony Smith, like, can still hang in there. He's just they're both not like super durable. Dominic Reyes' chin is like completely gone. Ever since his fight with John Jones, like he was on a losing skid for a while, and then came back and knocked out Justin Jacoby fairly quickly. You saw the fight Anthony Smith had. I was actually in Vegas for it against Roman Delice. He's just too slow now, and yeah, I think Dominic Reyes is gonna be the faster one with his strikes, and I I think we're gonna see like a round two TKO or round three. But yeah, I'm not confident at all. But I'll go with Dominic Reyes in this fight. But hopefully Dominic Reyes didn't attack Anthony Smith's family because then he's fucked. Now for the main event, well, main card. It should be the main fucking event because Nate the Train is a fucking beast and he's gonna come in here and knock the fuck out of Du Ho Choi. Okay, let's pull it back a little bit. I think Nate the Train's gonna win this fight, bro. He's got that dog. It's never a bad bet, guys. Like these, if you watch a lot of my videos, you hear how high I am on Nate the Train. Fucking, he's got power in those hands. He can tough it out. He can get dropped, but he'll keep getting back up. Duo Choi did win his last fight by knockout against Bill Algeo. Bill Algeo looked like there was something wrong with his eye, and he kind of just quit. That's not gonna happen with Nate the Train. He's gonna keep coming, and I think the durability is a little bit better on Nate the Train. Like he does get dropped a little bit, but Nate the Train will keep getting up and he'll come back and he's going to knock out Du Ho Choi. Or it's just going to be a bloody decision and it's going to be fight of the night. But I'm on Nate Landwehr all day. There is bias, yes, I will say that right here. But I really do think Nate the Train is going to fuck up Du Ho Choi in this matchup. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it'd be a big bummer if I'm not even going to say it. But yes, I'm going to put some money on Nate the Train in this fight. And yeah, Nate the Train in the UFC. Now I'm going to be going over this one very quickly. It's Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie in a matchup I don't fucking understand. Bryce Mitchell's a top 15 fighter, and Kron Gracie's not even close to that. Like, he's super slow. Like, I'll give him, he is durable and has great jujitsu, of course. Like, fucking his father and everything they started, like the UFC. But Bryce is better just everywhere. His jujitsu is probably even better just with his speed and the grappling and like his stand-up's way better. He's probably gonna beat the shit out of Kron, but like something is weird about this that why they would even set up this matchup. Do like the UFC think that Kron might like submit Bryce Mitchell? I don't know. Maybe it's possible. It's a fight. But yeah, I'm gonna be going Bryce Mitchell all day on this one. I don't have odds yet on this fight, but like I think he's okay to parlay. Can't believe they got rid of Aljamain and Mosvar in this slot. It's weird. Now it's Sorogan versus Alexander Volkov, and Volkov seems to like be improving since his last fight with Sorogan. He did already. This is a rematch. I'm still be gonna be going with Cyril Gahn to get this one done, but like I wouldn't like a little flyer bet. I did see the odds on Volkov's not a bad idea. Like he is long and rangy striker. This is going to be a mostly striking matchup, so it's perfect for both guys. Gon doesn't have to worry about the wrestling or whatnot. But yeah, I think like Gon's like kickboxing is just a little bit better. And yeah, we saw that the first fight. I'll go with Gon on this one. Kind of rooting for Volkov. Like he's kind of turning into a fan favorite. His fight with Pavlovich. It's unfortunate because they used to be buddies until that. Now Pavlovich is was kind of pissed off after that fight. Pavlovich couldn't really do anything to Volkov. Volkov won that fight very convincingly. Yeah, and Cyril Gahn was like making a movie or something, so he couldn't do a fight for a while. But yeah, I'll go with Cyril Gahn to get this one done. Now Shavkat versus Ian Gary in a fight. I think people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, Shavkat all day, which I do think Shavkat wins this fight, but I think it's a bit more difficult than some people are making it out to be. Like I think that Ian Gary is a bit more of the cleaner fighter, wants to kind of play it a bit more safe. Like his wrestling is like decent. Shavkat can be very reckless, but we have seen that he's got a chin. Like I think like this could be like Shavkat's like first decision win. Like we saw a bit of Ian Gary going back and forth with Jeff Neal. Was a weird fight. They high five throughout the whole fight, and we saw him just kind of out wrestle MVP. That would be like a sad story if the Shavkat's first loss is like Ian Gary kind of like wrestle fucking him to a decision. But I'm gonna be going with Shavkat to get this one done. I want to say decision, but I feel like that's a bit fucking crazy. But this is a 5 round fight, so like that does kind of persuade me a little bit to change that. So I'll go with submission, but like 5 rounds might favor Ian Gary. Yeah. I'm probably not going to touch this with my money, just gonna watch and enjoy this fight. Now I had to go and watch Kai Asakura's fights in Risen, and like honestly, just off like principle alone, I gotta go with Pantoja on this. Like fucking you can't just like come in here on your debut against Pantoja, the flyweight champion. I know that he's kind of slowed down in his last few fights and he's taken a bit more licks, like his fight against Steve Ursag. Like some people thought Ursag won that fight. Pantoja kind of looks like tired in like some of his fights, but he'll keep pressing forward, keep up with the pressure. Kaya Sakura does have like really good knockout power, but he's a 135er. He's gonna cut to 125. We're gonna have to see, but like UFC is like doing something with this. So I'd be weary like with the money line, but I gotta go with Pantoja to get this one done. I'm gonna say by decision, or like we could see like a gassed out and like he gets submitted by Pantoja. But yeah, also Pantoja's like super durable. Like Kaya Sakura, like to knock him out, he's gonna have to hit him with the kitchen sink. But yeah, I'd say just be weary on this one for sure. But I'm gonna be going with Pantoja to get this one done, and this should be a fucking fun fight. Maybe UFC just knows that. Yeah, Pantoja for the win. Now, I wanted to do this again where I go over my highest confidence picks to my lowest confidence picks. For high confidence, I'm going to be going with Themba Garimbo. Nate the Train is my high confidence bias pick, so there's that. And Alexander Pantoja, just because, like, off principle, I can't believe the first fight for Kai Sakura is Alexander Pantoja. It's crazy. Chase Hooper, Hooper. I'm pretty confident in. Now for medium confidence. Oh, and fucking Bryce Mitchell. I had to say that I'm very confident in him to win his fight. Now for medium confidence, I'm gonna go with Shavkat Rakhmonov to get it done, and Cyril Gahn. Um, Dominic Reyes, Brian Battle, Kennedy Nzechukwu, um, Joshua Van, I guess, medium confident, like medium to low confidence. Now for low confidence, I'm gonna be going with Aljamain Sterling. Like I said, there is bias in this fight for me, but yeah, Aljamain is on my lower confidence picks, and Michael Chiesa is on my lower confidence for sure. Yeah, is there someone I'm missing out on? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why Martin Budai is on this like pick I have here, but yeah, let's have a great last pay-per-view before the new year. I can't wait for the Colby Covington fight night versus Joaquin Butley. That's gonna be fucking fun and a great send-off before Christmas.